Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, little drum music theory reading workshop for you here. This is going to be 5 little 1-bar phrases made of the vocabulary, the rhythm and reading vocabulary from grades 1 and 2 for both Trinity and Trinity Rock and Pop, and in fact Rock School as well. And this follows on directly from a video I did a short while ago, which I'll link to below or above, depending where you're watching this, which was like a play along note values drill. So all this is arranging those various notes and combinations that we see at grade 1 and grade 2, namely crotchets, quavers, semiquavers, and then the one and combination of a quaver and 2 semiquavers, and the 1 E and combination of 2 semiquavers and a quaver. Or in other words, quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, and then 1 and which is 8th note, 2 16ths, and 1 E which is 2 16ths and an 8. That's all this is. I'm going to actually follow the same sticking as I put forward in that video. The sticking thing is funny. I would say if in doubt, follow the sticking that I'm doing here. If you're making changes to the sticking, especially on the 8th notes, man, often on 8th notes, people like to play right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, rather than right, 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 right. That's cool, man. If you find you're making changes to the sticking, but you're playing the thing accurately and getting fluent with it, that's completely fine. Where the sticking advice comes in my opinion, and in my experience, is when students need a guide, like they're looking for advice about how to do the sticking. If you're just playing your sticking and it's working and it's flowing and you're playing the right thing, obviously I just shut up at that point. That's just my advice if you want sticking advice, okay? So I'm going to play, when you play a quarter note, I'm going to play right stick. When it's 8th notes, I'm going to play right, right. When it's 16th notes, I'm going to play right, left, right, left. On the 1 E and figure, I'm going to play right, left, right. And on the 1 and I'm going to play right, right, left, just like I set up in that previous video. This video massively assumes that you have assimilated the stuff in that video and in various other videos about reading and music theory for grade 1 and 2 that I've put up, and I'll link to all of those below. So it really does assume you've got that going a little bit. So this first one has 5 little 1-bar phrases here. Firstly, actually, before we get into this real quick, why do we bother with this? Why do we want to know about music theory, note values? Why do we want to read music? What's the point? I think there are 3 things. 3 main things. Number 1 is actually reading music, right? So it's kind of obvious, but when you can read music, then you can quickly assimilate pieces, right? So you open a book, it's written out. If you are fluent in that language that it's written in, you can then quickly learn material, right? Or perform material. So just like if you needed to read out loud a story or a poem or whatever, if you have it written down in words and you're able to read those words, obviously that's faster than trying to memorize it all. That's the first way, and kind of cool. The second one is, for me, it massively helps with playing by ear. I think sometimes, or quite often in fact, people think that reading music and understanding theory and quote unquote playing by ear are opposites in some way. I totally disagree. I think they go perfectly well hand in hand. I personally have found over the years that if you, as my sort of understanding of music theory and note values and all the stuff we're talking about here, clarified, playing by ear improved in line with that, because you can hear the structures that you know about. Like if you've got a great overview in your head of the structure of rhythm and how it works, you can then hear them, and for me, playing by ear without reading music massively improved as well, because you've got that knowledge of the structure of the thing sitting there, and you can kind of see the stuff in your head and your mind's eye as you're hearing it. Thirdly, creativity. So not always mentioned in the same breath as reading music and music theory, but I massively think this is the case. If you, again, have a great knowledge of the structure of rhythms and how they all work, for me, it's a great way of getting into creativity. Like, for example, with the drum fills, the 1-bar phrases that we're coming up with here, you can take those 1-bar phrases, which here we're just going to play on the snare drum, but you could take them and just start to orchestrate them around the kit. They make brilliant drum fills. In fact, I'll do that at the end just for a laugh. I'll play them as drum fills, right, to illustrate that point. Also, just having that structure in your head, being aware of the different rhythmic possibilities, you can then sort of use that as a great way to be creative. You can select from the different rhythms that you know are available, rather than just kind of hoping your brain will come up with stuff, which very often just leads to drummers coming out with the same sorts of ideas over and over again. By exposing your musical brain, your musical consciousness to all these different possibilities, it's then a brilliant sort of springboard for being creative, because you're aware of all these possibilities. My little cliche that I often trot out, but I think it's really true in these videos and in the lessons that I teach, is that, in my opinion, all the most interesting people that I know are interesting because they're interested in loads of stuff, right? They have interests. They travel, they read, they learn an instrument, they learn languages, they cook, whatever the flipping thing, it doesn't matter what the thing is, but because they're interested in a ton of stuff, then when it's time for them to be interesting, you're having a conversation with them, they're pretty much always interesting because they've got ammunition, haven't they? They've got they take in great quality information which they can then sort through and kind of rearrange and then be creative with. And it's be interesting with, and it's exactly the same in my opinion in music. By exposing your brain to all these lovely possibilities rhythmically here, it puts you in a much more informed position to be then creative. You know what the possibilities are, right? You're not just hoping that you'll pull it out of nowhere. You can do it from a place of sort of being informed. So number one, actually reading music and quickly assimilating tunes and material. Number two, playing by ear will, in my opinion, in my experience, massively improve. And number three, your options of being creative massively open up. So they're the three main reasons to address music theory and reading if you're a drummer, in my opinion. Right, here we go. Number one, it's a 1-bar phrase, and it goes 1, 2, and 3 E and a 4 and. It's a quarter note on beat 1, it's 2/8 notes on beat 2, it's 4/16 notes on beat 3, and it's 2/8 notes on beat 4. It goes. You getting it? 1, 2, and 3 E and a 4 and. Sticking there, following the sticking pattern that I set up before in the video I mentioned. Right, 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 left, right, left, right, right. Again, that's just a suggestion. If you're doing it a different way and it sounds good and you're doing it right and you can recall the rhythms and you get fluent in it, that's fine. That's totally cool. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that was quite a nice one because I thought I'd start with that because it just has a pure note values. Quarter notes, eighths, sixteenths, crotchets, quavers, semiquavers. As you can see, each little, the way I like to think of this is each little beats 1, 2, 3, 4 as a little island. So on beat 1, you've just got a quarter note, bomb, on the beat. On beat 2, you've got 2 and. On beat 3, you've got 3 E and 16th notes. On beat 4, you've got 4 and. 1, 2, and 3 E and a 4 and. All right, on to bar number 2 here. This is 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and a. On beat 1, we've got 2/8 notes. Right, right, with our little sticking system. 2 E and. Now this is our little combination figure. One of the ones that you see at grade 1 and grade 2 all over the place. 2 E and 2 16th notes tied to 1 8th note. This is like 16th notes, 2 E and but without the at the end. Classic sticking, right, left, right. On beat 3, we're back to 8th notes, 3 and. On beat 4, 4 E and 4 16th notes. I'll play the whole bar. This is number 2. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and I'll do it again. 2 and 3 and 4 and. You getting it? All right, cool. Number 3, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4 E and. Okay. Beat 1 is 2/8 notes. Right, right. Beat 2 is 2 and. That's that combination of an 8th note and 2 16th notes that we see all over the place and hear all over the place in music. That sticking there will be right, right, left. That's like 2 E and but with the E that would have been played with your left stick taken away. 2 and 2 and You got it? Beat 3 here is a quarter note with the right stick, and beat 4 is 4 E and. Here's the whole thing, bar number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 E and. Okay, cool. I like that one because it showcased the 2 different combination figures of 8ths and 16ths that you see at grade 1, and they're constantly confused in my experience by students. So I showcase them both. Beat 2 is 2 and ba, like the word black current. Beat 4 is 4 E and da, like the word motorbike. Right? Cool. On bar 4, we've got some 8th note rests. So the little thing that looks like a letter Y is an 8th note rest, and these notes will come in on the ands. So you're resting an 8th note, then playing an 8th note. 8th notes 1 and 2 and. We're going to rest 1, play 1, rest 1, play 1. We're playing on the ands, or often called the upbeats or offbeats. Here we go. This is bar 4, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and In the second half of that bar on beat 3, we do 3 and an 1/8 and 2/16, black currant. And on beat 4, we go 4 E and 16th notes. I'll play the whole thing again. 1 and 2 and bar number 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 3 and 4 E and note that when 16th notes finish off one beat and start the next beat, they just run together. Second half of that bar is a really good example, isn't it? 3 and 4 E and beats 3 and beats 4 are still distinct, but because semiquavers 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 16th, they just run together. That's the effect that you get. 3 and 4 E and okay. Lastly, number 5 will sound like this. Beat 1 here is 16th notes, 1 E and or semiquavers. Beat 2 is an upbeat 8th note, 2 and. You got it? Beat 3 is 3 and an 1/8 and 2/16. And beat 4 is 4 E and 2/16 and an 1/8, right? So, whole thing. Number 5, 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 E and. Okay? I'm going to play through the whole lot. Number 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 3, 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2. Number 4, 3 and 4. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lastly, number 5. Here we go. And. All right, and lastly, just as promised here, I'm going to just make them into drum fills for a laugh. The main benefit of this video, as I saw it at first, was just to get those basic note values and that theory knowledge and just start to take it into some musical phrases and start to sort of get fluent in actually using those. But one of the main benefits of this, like I was saying at the start, is to fuel your creativity, man. The age-old thing that drum students always say, I find it difficult to think of drum fills, or most often they say, I play the same 5 to 10 drum fills over and over. This is, like amongst other ways, a great way of coming up with fills. You simply make 1-bar phrases, like I've made here, of those basic grade 1 and grade 2 note values, the combinations, and then you play them around the kit. So in the first case, you can, let's take fill number 1, right, or bar number 1 that goes. In the first case, a great way to do it is go beat 1 on the snare, beat 2 up here, beat 3 here, and beat 4 down on the floor tom. If you only have 1 high tom, that's fine. Come back to the snare drum. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, and play the rhythm. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and for number 1 there. And then as you repeat, and I like to do 1-bar groove, 1-bar fill to really drill this. As you repeat, just start playing that rhythm a little more freely around your kit. As I've said 100 times on this channel already, the drums are essentially an unpitched instrument, so you can really enjoy yourself here. Play it any way you like. Take that basic rhythm, and you can't really play a bum note here. You can't go wrong. Hold on. I can't go wrong. He says go wrong. Yeah, so you can take that and you can't really play a wrong note. You can play the wrong rhythm, you can go out of time, but as long as you play that rhythm and you move around the kit in some interesting way, it's going to sound good, man. So it's a brilliant, rich source of drum fills. If you're ever in doubt about drum fills, or people, if you find yourself saying, I really wish I had some new drum fills, just do this. If you've got this knowledge, write out on a bit of paper, 4 beats in the bar, select one of these little figures on each beat, play it on a snare drum, play it like this. And then just start to repeat it, man. Noodle on it, orchestrate it around the kit differently each time. Such a great thing to do. So just for fun, I'll play 3 bars of groove, 1 bar fill. I'm going to take each of these in turn, right? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, number 1, here we go. Okay, number 2 coming up. Here we go. And number 3. And number 4. And number 5. You get the idea. So they can be orchestrated around the kit to make great drum fills. So this is just really starting to work with this stuff. And hopefully if you're following this and sort of getting into this and you're at that grade 1, grade 2 level, you can sort of start to see these now at this point coming together and starting to flow and starting to really expand your horizons as a reading music theory fluent drummer, you know. So have a little play around with these, enjoy them. If you have any questions about this, give me a shout. It's such a great thing to do. I'm talking here about grade 1 and grade 2, which is typically in the first year or two of when you play. In my experience of doing these lessons over lots and lots of years, there are dudes who rock up who've been playing the drums for like longer than I have, like 40 years, who still aren't fluent in these, man. And it really sometimes like holds them back, or like in the sense that they want to learn songs, right? They want to learn drum parts. They want to be able to play Knock on Wood or Brown Eyed Girl or Come to, or like whatever. They want to learn songs, and but they're not fluent in this. And this is such a great way of being able to learn music when you want to learn drum parts, as well as, like I said, fueling your creativity and improving your playing by ear as well. So I'm not saying it's the be all and end all. I totally get that reading music isn't for everybody. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that if you want to learn drum parts, like if you want to actually learn musical phrases, this is a brilliant way to go about it. So I'd really suggest getting involved with that. Thanks a million for watching as always. I really hugely appreciate it. And please like, share and subscribe to this channel, please. Massively appreciate that. I think maybe I don't say that enough, but please do, if you're watching these videos, subscribe to this channel, because it makes such a difference in supporting it and boosting it along with the algorithms and all that. And as well, if you've appreciated these videos, enjoyed watching them, please consider supporting this channel. And I just thank you so much to all the lovely people who do this. This is by my Buy Me a Coffee support page. There's 2 ways to support this channel. One is to just buy me a coffee, which is a single one-off support donation, which of course I massively appreciate if you've enjoyed these videos and benefited from them and used them. If you want to go a little deeper, you can become a member for £10 a month. You can become a monthly member, which is an amazing thing. And thank you so much to all the guys and girls who are doing that. What you're doing there is really supporting this channel and helping it to come along in a huge way. It's allowing me to spend more time on these videos, to answer more requests, to just do more and more of the things that you want to see. And as it's going along now, hopefully sort of pick up with production values and all that kind of stuff, which I'm well aware are essentially 0 at the minute. But I've always on this channel, I've always focused on the content, man. Hopefully you can appreciate that. And you get a load of stuff in return. So it's not just you supporting this channel, it's also you get a whole ton of stuff in return. Namely, you get a complimentary 30-minute Zoom session. We can check in, have a chat and have a look at what you're into. I'll set you up with a practice plan. If you want one, I'll write for you a customized practice plan. However long you want to practice, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you've got, I'll write for you a step-by-step, item-by-item practice plan based exactly on where you're at and what you want. You get members video. Sunday is now members video day, so you get that members video in addition to all the regular videos. You get priority requests over videos that come up on the main channel here. You get drum support from me in the form of email and video responses. You've got questions about your drumming. You're working on your practice plan, things you want to ask, I'm on hand. You message me, I'll message you back as soon as. And if the thing you're asking about requires a video response, I'll do that. I'll literally sit here, record you a little personalized video and send it back. Plus a ton of other stuff as well, man, and some other big things. I've got ideas coming up for the members side as well. So thanks a million to all the amazing people who've done that. I just had a lovely couple of sessions in my Zoom sessions I was teaching just now. In my session, I had a couple of lovely ones, just checking in with new members. Beautiful. I've been off to Africa. I've been off to California. It's completely nuts, man. All you guys around the world watching these videos and wanting to get support and also support this channel. Is just an amazing little relationship we've got going. And thank you so much to all the people who are part of that. And thanks a million for watching as always. I really, really appreciate it. Any questions about anything, give us a shout, and see you soon. Cheers.